Lots of people that don't have a gallbladder and that do the carnivore diet don't have any issues at all. Hello my friends, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Rachel and I'm sharing my journey to healing from years of severe chronic illness. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. Today I'm going to be talking about my experience with doing the carnivore diets without a gallbladder. So this is something I actually haven't talked much about, so I'm guessing it'll be new to some of you guys that I don't have a gallbladder. So my gallbladder was removed when I was actually in high school. I was 15 years old and I was having a lot of severe abdominal pain and had testing done, and they found that my gallbladder wasn't functioning properly and they just said, okay, we'll take it out. And so I had a gallbladder removal surgery, and it actually did help some of the time, but knowing what I know now, if I could go back, I would definitely not have that surgery. And I think in most cases, there are ways to reverse gallbladder problems without having to get your gallbladder removed. But obviously, I can't go back and change that. So when I first was researching the carnivore diet, this was something that I was concerned about because I know that when you don't have a gallbladder, it can be more difficult to digest fats, but it's not impossible. And lots of people that don't have a gallbladder and that do the carnivore diet don't have any issues at all. But there are some people that do encounter issues, and I definitely was one of those people. So I kind of just wanted to share my experience with it and what has helped me. When I started carnivore, I was very, very sick with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, dysautonomia, Chiari malformation, all sorts of serious chronic illnesses, and so I was spending most of my time in bed. And I was already having lots of severe digestive issues like gastroparesis, and was barely able to eat at all when I started carnivore. And before then, I was severely underweight, and I also almost needed to get on a feeding tube several times. So I had some significant digestive issues. And when I started carnivore, after getting through the transition phase, some aspects of my digestion actually started to improve. I was able to eat a lot more. I started putting on some much needed weight, and didn't have as severe abdominal pain, stomach pain, and nausea. But I really did struggle to digest the fat in the meat, and I did a lot of research, and I found that kind of the most common tips for people that are doing the carnivore diets and don't have a gallbladder are to take ox bile, which is a supplement that can help your body to digest fats. Also digestive enzymes like HCl, as well as there's a organ supplement, a gallbladder supplement that you can take. And then don't drink water with your meals, because water actually dilutes the stomach acid and can make it harder for you to digest fats. And so I implemented these different things over time, and to be honest, the ox bile wasn't really very helpful for me, and it could just be because I was so sick and really hyper-reactive to all sorts of supplements and things at the time, but it really wasn't very helpful for me. I tried a couple different brands and I really didn't see much of a difference. But I definitely think it's worth trying if you're somebody that's struggling to digest fats or somebody that doesn't have a gallbladder, because I've heard so many people say that was really, really helpful for them. Another thing that I tried was HCl supplements. So a lot of people that have difficulty digesting meat and fat are actually low in stomach acid, and so I started taking those, and those helped a little bit, but it wasn't really that helpful. But again, it's definitely worth a shot if you're struggling with this, because there are a lot of people that do benefit from taking those sorts of supplements, and everybody's different, so it's always worth a try. Anyway, doing the carnivore diet brought me a lot of benefits, brought me a lot of healing, as you guys know from what I've shared in my videos and also on Instagram. Obviously my life has changed because of changing my diet, but I still struggled to digest fats and to digest eating so much meat, and that's something I haven't really talked a lot about. I tried higher protein, I tried higher fat, I tried more electrolytes, I tried magnesium, I tried so many different things. Obviously nobody's tried everything, but I did try lots of different things, and something that has really helped a lot with my digestion has actually been nervous system regulation. And when your body is stuck in a chronic fight or flight mode, your digestive system is seriously impacted. That's why they say rest and digest when you go into a parasympathetic mode, because that's when the body is able to digest. And so it's really important to make sure that you can calm your nervous system to be able to digest food properly. Sometimes when I'm doing my brain retraining or meditations or somatic practices, I find that I notice my stomach gurgling and starting to move again, and so that's been really helpful for me. As far as digestion, I've gone back and forth between constipation and diarrhea for pretty much as long as I can remember, even before carnivore. And this is something I don't think I've really talked about at all, and I want to do a video on this specifically, but it's something that I find a little bit hard to talk about because I don't know, it's just kind of hard to talk about. But I did have severe constipation. Sometimes I would go weeks without having bowel movement, and so that's something that I experienced before carnivore, during carnivore, and so even doing adding more fat, and even when adding more electrolytes and doing all the basic things that you're supposed to be able to do, it just didn't seem to really help. Doing carnivore without a gallbladder can certainly be a challenge, but it's definitely doable. And I think for some people that don't have a gallbladder, it might be best to do more of an animal-based approach and have some fruits and stuff like that if you tolerate it. For me, that's what I have actually been doing the last 4 months or so, and that's actually helped. And I haven't shared a lot about it on here because I'm kind of behind with my videos and wanted to share more about my experience with carnivore and the things that really helped me and the things that were really difficult for me when doing carnivore. And so I'm getting to it. I will definitely be posting a video sharing about my diet now and why I stopped doing a strict carnivore diet, but first just wanted to make a couple more videos sharing my experience with the carnivore diet. And so, like I said, did a 1.5 years of strict carnivore and did struggle with digesting fats. And for me, the most helpful thing has been nervous system regulation, as well as actually adding in some other foods like fruit. That has actually helped with my digestion some as well. And because I think it was just a little bit too much for my body to handle to only be eating meat, as much as it did help in other areas of my life to be doing carnivore. For me, kind of the balance has been doing more of an animal-based approach. But everybody's different. It's absolutely possible to do carnivore without a gallbladder. I think something also to keep in mind is it can be really difficult if you don't have a gallbladder to digest a lot of food at once. So it's really popular in the carnivore community to do 1 meal a day, or OMAD, which means you only eat once a day. You only eat 1 meal, so you have to eat a lot in one sitting. And if you're struggling to digest fat without a gallbladder, then that's probably gonna be tough. And so eating more meals and smaller meals throughout the day can be really helpful. Also, a lot of people find that eating leaner meats in the beginning and slowly upping fat as your body adjusts and starts to be able to digest fat easier, that can be really helpful too. I definitely, if you don't have a gallbladder, I wouldn't start with a really high fat carnivore diet out of nowhere. That probably is going to be really rough on your body. And so just kind of work your way up with the fats and find a optimal balance for you. Anyway, that's my experience with doing carnivore without having a gallbladder. Obviously, I'm really glad I did it and it's helped so much, but it did present with challenges in terms of digesting the meat and digesting the fat. And so just be aware of that, and also know that there's a good chance that you won't have any issues at all. Lots of people don't. So if you're watching this video because you're planning to start carnivore and don't have a gallbladder, know that I'm wishing all the best for you and cheering you on, and I hope that all goes well for you. If this video was helpful, make sure to click the like button and subscribe, and I will look forward to seeing you in another video very soon.